Here's another example of factoring by grouping. So I have 4 terms. I don't have a greatest common factor I can factor out. So I'm going to try grouping these. Then I'm going to take these first 2 terms and make a group out of them. And I'm going to take these last 2 terms and make a group out of them. Here, I want to put a plus between them. And this is minus 5a. I want my minus to stick with the 5a, because if I left the minus between here, the subtract between here, I would be distributing it across this parenthesis to this plus 5, and it would become a minus 5, and that is not what my expression is. Now, that's why this plus has to be here. It's not a multiplication. I'm going to factor out my greatest common factor between these 2 terms. That'll leave me 2b squared. That first term, when I factor out 2b squared, is going to have an a. I factored out all of this the second term, 2b squared, so I have a 1 left. So it's a minus 1. And then I have a plus. I look at this over here. I can factor out a 5. In fact, I'm going to factor out a negative 5 because this first part is negative. So I'm going to factor out a negative 5. And that's going to leave me I factored out a negative 5. So that means this has to be minus 1. Because negative 5 times negative 1 gives me positive 5. And this is a positive 5. Now, I'm going to factor out my common factor between these terms, the a minus 1. A minus 1 times what's left here, 2b squared plus negative 5, or minus 5. Now this is this first term factored. If in doubt, we can always expand it back out to make sure we have it correct. So 2b squared times a is 2ab squared. 2b squared times negative 1 is minus 2b squared. Negative 5 times a is negative 5a. And negative 5 times negative 1 is positive 5. And that is what I started with here. Thank you.